Hey, Spruce B here. Yeah, you got to excuse me. I was kind of just chilling. I'm in my little bed. I was waiting for my computer to finish doing stuff. Chrome, some changes on Chrome, and checking Task Manager and stuff like that. Anyway, so while I'm chilling, I thought I wanted to give you guys a story about uh, me and AT&T. It's kind of similar to a story I did a while ago. I don't know if it's still up, but it's about Comcast. Only difference between Comcast and AT&T is that Comcast, the whole company was complicit in the whole matter. I went up the ladder all the way to as far as they would let me. Because when I got to the top of HR was like, you are not going to be contacting the CEOs about this. We're stopping you right here. They would not let my communications get to the boardroom. They didn't want that at all. And so Comcast, they basically, I don't know why this manager, he just decided, he just is, I think he's mad at me because I just wouldn't let him harass me. He kept harassing me, calling me up while I'm on jobs and making all kind of nasty comments, talking to the customers real bad about me. I don't know why. His problem was I was real nice to the guy, and then the guy had some kind of sick relative that he always was asking for donations and stuff, and I was compassionate towards him about his sick relative that he kept bringing up all the time. And I got sick people in my family too. You know, but anyway, yeah, this guy, I don't know what happened. The guy is just, ugh. And so I'm not gonna go into the whole Comcast story. I did it before, but AT&T was kind of almost the same, but just compressed into a few months. AT&T was this horrible. My experience, I don't know about yours. If you work with them as a wire pro, which is an installation tech, it was a horrible experience. It was great in the beginning. The training was great. It was fun. You learned a lot. I did very well in the training. Except one day I was late because my wife had an issue, and the manager, he had to come down and put the paperwork on me. That's how AT&T so petty they are, right? My wife had called me. She had an emergency. My wife, I was like, I was on my way. I said, let me turn around, and yeah, and this guy is like, he comes all the way to the training. This one is supposed to be my supervisor after training, right? He comes all the way there with the paperwork, and I'm sorry, but I have to do it. It's like, you a fucking liar. You don't have to. You do not have to do that. It's like, do you have a fucking brain? Can you make a decision yourself? You just like a fucking robot. All right. So so there's no reason. So what if a terrorist held me hostage and it caused me to be late? I'm sorry, but I gotta write you up. Even though it's like, the fuck is wrong with you? That's the mentality of the management there. I don't know about the upper management. I'm talking about the middle. I don't know what the upper management is like. I never got to meet them. I meet them. I'm sorry. So and they didn't want us to really meet them. As a matter of fact, we had our facility was getting visit from upper management people, right? I think somebody had moved into the position, a new person, and this is above area manager, right? So they were going to visit our facility. Our facility was like roach infested, So watch your equipment from AT&T. It was, big old roaches, right? Roach infested facility. The bathrooms were never clean, except for the one right next to the manager. That's it. The other ones was disgusting, dead roaches in the corner and shit. They never clean up. The break room. This is right after COVID, so the break room just slammed all the tables together, and it was just filthy. And the kitchen was filthy. I mean, who takes a break in that break room anyway? Because we're out in the field, but still, it should still be clean. So they actually, this area manager actually threatened us. That's how much they know they can. That upper management won't do nothing about what they do. That they can actually make threat. I mean, we have a union too. The union is useless. CWA something, Communication Workers of America. They were useless. So, and this guy felt very free to just openly threaten everybody. So it was like, don't you say nothing. He told us not to talk to these people at all. Don't say nothing. And then he goes, because I can find the smallest little teeny piece of paper in your truck, and that'll be your ass. He was, because they got a rule about keeping clean in the truck, but these area managers, middle management, they take it to such an extreme that I mean, if they're not after you, it's okay, but if they want to come after you, the teeny tiny piece of paper in your truck can be a write-up, can cause you to get terminated. Okay? But when they put you on the performance plan first, get down in your car in the floor. I don't care how clean your car is, you're going to have something there. They know that. It is crazy. AT&T, the way they treat the wire pro, they treat you like slaves, and the people that they hire, mostly minorities, what do you call it? People who have rights under the civil rights, okay? Those kind of people, like people like me, LGBTQ, etc. people, ethnic whites, Mexican, Spanish, that's the kind of people they hire. And then the people, as you go up, it gets whiter and whiter. It's some they hire some black people in supervisor position, but the higher you go up, the whiter it gets, and it doesn't, and it's not that so much that it's white. It's the kind of people that they hire. It's a good old boys club, okay, and they're firing people every year. I think they're doing this seasonal thing, or maybe they're just trying to get the federal funds, or what it is that the upper management just let middle management do what they want to do. That's how I felt. I felt they felt very free to treat people like shit, like jack shit. And I don't even think it matters. It doesn't matter that much about your color. It's not so much of a color thing. It's the fact that if you need this job, that you ain't shit. That's their attitude towards you. If you need this job, it must be something wrong with you. And you ain't shit, and we're going to treat you like a piece of shit. Everything I wasn't even really technically out of training by the time, but they was treating me like I was, right? By the time they terminated me. So everything and everybody that works there knows this. It's like a meme. Everything that happens is your fault. Anything bad that happens is your fault. Anything good that happens, they take credit for. I have never seen, like during my training, it was several different trainers I was with, right? All of them was like, yeah, you're never going to see these interfaces when you're out there in the field, right? I went out there every day. I saw these old, antiquated terminals and all kinds of old stuff that they didn't cover. They can't cover everything in the training, but I'm new, And I'm looking at this old terminal, it looked like an old telephone terminal from 1922 or something, right? And I'm like, what do I do with this, right? We didn't learn this, you know, or they have some kind of policy, like that, which they didn't tell me. Like this one time, I was working this job, and for all I know, it was a repair, right? It was a fallen line. So, and when I got there, the woman said, a very nice woman, she goes, I just, she was insistent on this, right? She said, I don't want anything new. All I want is what I had to be repaired because it fell down and I just needed repaired. And I said, okay, from what I look like it's just a repair job to me, right? So I'm working on repairing it. It was kind of difficult because it had to go. I didn't have enough line of the type of line, you know. That's the whole thing problem with AT&T. You know, they make you order everything. It's like, what was that supposed to make you feel like you're independent? It's stupid. You know, when I was working with Comcast, you just go to the warehouse and you grab what you got to get. And you had plenty of everything that you needed most of the time, right? Or if you didn't, you just ask one of your crew, hey, you got some more of this? No, AT&T is like, they just something else that they lay on you. It's like, you got to order every little thing. I don't care if it's a thumbtack. I don't care what it is. You got to order everything. And that means you come out of training, you have to know every little piece of equipment that nobody knows that right out of training. That's crazy, right? You don't know, and you don't know what you're going to encounter out there. So you know, it takes time before you know all that, and they just lay that on you, and then if you don't have it and have to wait for somebody to bring it to you, it's your fault. It's crazy, and they don't tell you that. Okay, they sent me out, not on that particular job, but I'm just saying they sent me out. Well, actually, they did do that on that job. They sent me out, and other people didn't tell us that we had to order stuff. They didn't tell us that. They just sent us out, right? And then you call in, he's like, I don't have this and I don't have that. And oh well, let's see if so and so, this other veteran worker or whatever worker have it. And then so they'll send this other worker to come. You got to wait for them. And then since you had to wait for them, you take a long time on the job. Then you're sitting up in the office and they're fussing at you about how long it took. It's like, do you remember I had to wait for somebody to bring me equipment? What is wrong with you? Okay, so this lady, like I said, she said she just wanted what she had. I said, okay. So I'm working on it, and I did have to wait for somebody to bring me the proper line because, shit, I don't know. I didn't know if I was going to run into that line. And I didn't know I was supposed to order stuff. So I waited for the guy, and, he took about an hour and a half to get to me. And the funny thing is the supervisor was later on was just jumping down my back about how long it took me to do that job. And then as he's telling me, he says, yeah, I know you had to wait for somebody else. But and I was like, okay, there's no but after that. I had to wait for somebody else. What's wrong with you? So I did the job. And then this is another thing they started fussing at me about later. They said, you were supposed to switch her over to fiber. And I was like, I was? Yeah, it's a fiber conversion. You're supposed to switch her over. I was like, well, nobody told me that. We're turning off copper. Okay, let me tell you this. We're turning off copper. So if anytime somebody has a problem with the copper or any job that we're not replacing the copper. We're doing fiber, right? They said that, and then I know I had at least 2 or 3 jobs a week that were just like that. The problem with the copper, and then they go, well, then they tell me how to hook the copper up. I said, I thought you said we wasn't doing copper. What is wrong with you? It's like dealing with Sybil. Sybil. And if you don't know what Sybil is, it's a person who's schizophrenic and has a whole bunch of different personalities, right? But they don't. they don't know that they have this other personality. The other one doesn't. One personality don't know the other, or maybe they know the other, but they don't like the other, or they don't trust. You know what I'm saying? They was crazy, and they would tell you something, one thing, and then tell you something else, and then act like you knew, or like it always was like that. Although they told you something else the other time. Do you get what I'm saying? Crazy. So as I progressed working there, this guy that was over me, right? I heard him, and I heard somebody else too with the same phone call. Heard him being told by the area manager that he needs to get rid of some of us new people because they got another group of new people coming in. They had this new ladder coming in, and this new ladder is a more advanced ladder, and it actually you don't have to do all the tying and stuff. It grips the line, So you have to get training on that, and apparently they didn't want to train us on that. They didn't want to train new people. People who've already been trained, they didn't want to retrain on, and it's just training on the ladder. So stupid. So he was telling them about the ladder, and then he said, you got to get rid of some of them people that you got. And then after that, that man was on me every day. He chose me. I don't know, maybe he pulled my name out of a hat or something. I don't know, but he chose me. And he investigated me almost every day about every little thing. He kept investigating. It didn't matter, and it doesn't matter. In that kind of environment, it don't matter if they're right or wrong. All that matters is there's a whole bunch of paperwork going up. I know what he was doing, right? But I'm too new to do anything about it. I was trying to fight it, but I couldn't. When you're new, people don't want to listen to you in the organization. They don't trust you, right? Because they're like children. They don't use their brain. So he just kept on investigating. He was wrong. He was wrong about this, wrong about that. He misinterpreted that, but he didn't care. He just kept doing it. I kept sitting in his office almost every freaking day, and explaining stuff that I shouldn't have to explain, So I actually had heat. I had a heat exhaustion one day. It was 107 degrees heat index outside. I was working outside, running all this line and stuff. And I was drinking water and everything, but that was not enough. Sometimes you can't do. It's not enough, right? I had somebody supposedly helping me at the time because I'm still in training. But that dude was sitting in the truck on his phone. He didn't really help all that much. He didn't care really. He was in the truck chilling, and I'm out there burning up. And I was like, I got to the point where I heard like a little radio in my head. I couldn't make out what was being said, but you could hear like, that was like for almost 2 weeks. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't think. So I was messing up on my time card. And this is how he got me, really. Because I kept messing up on my time card. And then so he wrote me up because I messed up a couple times. And he had to repeat himself, is what he said. But I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't calculate. I couldn't concentrate. And the guy that was with me, he was also a union guy. He was telling me, "Don't tell him you're sick. You tell him you're sick, you're gonna be in the peck of trouble. They ain't gonna let you work or nothing." Right? And I was like, I don't care. I told him I told him I was sick. He didn't care I was sick. He didn't, go after me because I was sick, but he did suspend me and put me on a performance plan because of a freaking time card mistake, right? You ever heard of somebody getting on a performance plan because of a time card mistake? I manage people. I would never do that. I'll fix your time card myself, right? But I care about people. When I was managing people, I wasn't trying to fire people. I was trying to make people better, right? I was trying to get the best out of people. But that's not what this guy was about. He had an agenda. So, so once you get on that performance plan, you might as well hang it up, right? It don't matter what you do. So the guy, he had me on a performance plan. He kept coming at me about stupid. So once you put in a performance, you get on a performance plan, they can come at you about stupid stuff, right? Hey, you use an extra staple. What's going on? That's stealing company, or wasting company resources. I got to write you up on that staple. That's what the performance plan does. It don't help you. It don't help you in no company. It help you. The performance plan don't help you. It helps them fire you. Okay, so this dude, even though he came at me because I wasn't fast enough, and I said I thought I was in training. I thought you got when he would be in a group, he would say he would tell people, "Hey, the speed will come." Like it didn't matter. Don't worry about speed. Just get good at what you're doing, right? But then he pulled me in the office and said, "You're not fast enough," right? And I told him, because I know I could be fast. That wasn't the problem being fast. I wanted to know what the fuck I was doing, right? I just wanted to know what I was doing and make sure I was doing it right. And because I like quality, I do quality work, right? Wherever I work at, right? Even Comcast couldn't say that I didn't do quality work. You know, that's not why they fired me. They fired me because this dude wanted to harass me, and he just HR would even though I reported him about harassing me, they kept me under him. So that allowed him to go at me with paperwork. Okay, so it wasn't my work ethic or anything like that. And even this guy was like, you do great work. Your work is very high quality and everything, but you're not going fast enough. And and the other crazy thing about him telling me that I'm not fast enough was the jobs where I was taking up a lot of time was jobs where I was dealing with him and his so-called veterans. They was sucking up my time. Not to say that there was times when I was actually slow. When I'm slow, I know I'm slow because I'm like, okay, never saw this before. I got to figure it out, and I got to take time to figure it out. Or I'm doing. It's always like something that I'm doing is new. I'm trying to learn something, right? So I slow down so I can because I have to. You don't just walk into a new situation and just know everything, So, like I'm calling, and I'm telling the guys like I had to call this in. These calls could take 35 minutes, an hour. They don't care. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Go to the call center and say, hey, you hurry up. What am I supposed to do? That's not my fault. And he got angry at me because I had told him, I said, yeah, you keep talking to me about how fast I am, but where are your veterans at? These veterans was on the job with me. Okay, we went through a whole bunch of different solutions. That's why it took so long. Okay, but why am I sitting in here by myself? And like I said, he had an agenda. So, um, so what happened over a period of time that I did start getting really fast, and I got so I got to the point where he couldn't really say nothing to me. So what he did was started sending me on garbage jobs because he was trying to get rid of me. So he for a whole week and a half, I was going on these jobs. They knew that these people had no understanding of what was going on. I go to the job and these people would go, "Oh, I just wanted to plan out." I'm serious. I had a whole week of that. I just wanted to plan it out. I wanted to just talk about what we can do, and then you can come back another time. And I was like, "That's not." I said, "That's not how we do it." I tell the people that, but it don't matter that I tell them that's not how we do it. Why? Because I was there to do an installation. I was not there to plan it and then come back later. Okay? And he was sending me on and Comcast did the same thing to me. Every job I went on Comcast, they were sending me to these jobs that was supposed to be either more than one person. The supervisor was supposed to show up. It was these high level jobs. It was a repeat corporate escalations and stuff. Those were the type of jobs I was doing. He was throwing me because he was doing the same thing this guy was doing, trying to get rid of me. right? And but they get mad at you when they throw that at you and you do well, right? So I was doing well. That's why the guy at AT&T had to throw those jobs at me that couldn't be done. He knew that jobs couldn't be done, you know. So I had about a week of those, and then he's gonna call me in the office and then start uh, oh, going at me about one job, and this is a safety issue, right? About those kind of jobs with the problems, right? And then this one job where the pole you could not secure the ladder on the pole, and I talked to multiple technicians and asked them, the veterans and whatever, and everybody that I talked to looked at this picture, and they said you can't secure that, you can't secure yourself, because you couldn't. There was boxes on the pole. You could not. It's not possible to get close enough to the pole until you can reach around it, right? So I had sent him video and everything, and we FaceTime, and he decided that I shouldn't go up there, right? And then, so uh, about a week, a couple of weeks later, I think it was a couple of weeks later, I'm in his office, and that's one of the things when he's terminating me. One of the things he brings up is that ladder, and then he puts that picture, and I said that picture doesn't have it. I'm like, that picture don't have that. It has a ladder on it, pole with no strap, and there's no technician, and you would have to reach way back. You have to be strapped in because you got to reach where the terminal is. You had to reach way back behind yourself, and I said it's impossible to do that being strapped in. And the technician that he said went up there and did it, he actually told me that he sent a bucket truck, right? He had sent a bucket truck at first, and is what he said. And the bucket truck broke down. So he had some technician say, I'll do it. And he went up there. And he even phrased, the way he phrased it, because he's trying not to be a liar, right? The other technician got it done. And I said, yeah, did he strap in? And he just looked at me. He would not answer that. I said, did he strap in? Did he strap the ladder? He wouldn't answer that because he pretends to be a Christian. I'm a Christian. This guy pretends to be a Christian, and he didn't want to be a liar. I don't know why you think omission is a sin too. Okay, when you don't tell the whole entire truth, that is not Christian. You gotta tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Okay, omitting things and deceit, that is not Christian, and that's what he was doing. He was being deceitful because he would not answer that question. And because I already talked to the other guy. The other guy said, "Yeah, I be doing stuff that other techs don't do." That's what he said. Because I told him, I said, "There's no way that you strapped in. There's no way." And that's a safety violation. So I got fired over a safety violation. I got fired because I cared about my safety. That's not the real reason. That was that was that was used as a reason to fire me, But I was like, you could have came up with something better than that. I know there's a million things that you could say. Don't say that I didn't do my job. He said, although he made the decision for me not to go up there, like I said, AT&T act like it was my fault. I was like, how's that my fault when you told me not to go up there? What? How's that me? How's that on me? It doesn't make a difference. It's just a reason, right? And that's the frustration of working with AT&T. They pay well. They pay like what I think what they should pay. Maybe they could pay more, but they pay well. The pay is good, but the conditions are horrible. They're constantly just nitpicking. I don't know whoever designed that system of metrics that they have. They need to be horsewhipped. about that. It's just nitpicking. They got everybody scared they're gonna lose their job at every minute, at every second. You can lose your job at AT&T. Oh my God, I'm 86%. I'm supposed to be 87. You know, they're constantly threatening you. If you, if your percentage goes down, you know, they don't have no concept of one job being more difficult than another. It doesn't matter to them. This job causes you, because one job can mess up your whole day, but they don't care about that. It doesn't matter to them that that job has messed up your whole day. You can't tell them that because they don't listen. They don't listen to workers. Even though the wire pros are the ones that are in the field and know this. They don't listen to them. They don't trust them. Uh, and it's not. I don't even think it's anything about them trusting them. It's just no respect. You know, it's they disrespect the worker, and they're like, I'm talking about middle management because I can't speak for the higher man, the rest of the company. Okay, they're like, well, we're better than you. You know, it's almost like a separatism, a situation, separate but not equal. You know, we're better than you because we're better than you, and whatever you have to say is subject to whatever I want to interpret it as. And that's how they treat the workers there. It's horrible. So if you want to work at AT&T doing that work, I hope that you get advanced very quick. You know, as you move up, is less of that. But for some reason, they think the wire pros, the people, the little whipping boys, they can just treat like shit. And like I said, there's no protection. The union doesn't do jack. Okay, they don't do nothing. Nothing. I haven't even heard from the union. Because it was a good case that I had. I believe I had. I'm a labor person. Okay, I represent people. I had a good case, but unfortunately my wife got ill, so I had to abandon going after them. But the people at the union could have picked it up. I mean, they were supposed to be working on it, but they didn't want to go after him aggressively as I wanted them to, and for the reasons I wanted him to, because he should never have had me on the performance plan in the first place. It was about messing up on timesheet because the man had a chat. He has a chat. He still has it. He has a chat, and that's all he does is fuss about people about messing up on their timesheet. So how do you justify putting me on a performance plan when um, you're constantly going at people and you don't write them up about their time sheet? Okay, that's I'm trying not to say it's AT&T. It's not AT&T. It's people that work there. It's not everybody that worked there at AT&T. I don't want to bash the company. I didn't want to bash Comcast either, but I found out when it went all the way up to the HR. Okay, I had to bash the company. Now this is a local issue with the AT&T. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that and let you guys know. You know, I don't know if it's like that in every area, but it sure was. It sure was in mine. It was horrible. It was like working on a plantation. And I like to work to do quality work. I don't like these jobs where you're working because the boss wants a bonus because he wants his for his stats and all that. Fuck that shit. I want to work. I want to work for the customer. Okay. Yeah, the company. If the company's reasonable, but I don't do all this extra shit and this drama and this bullshit. Because boss wants to look good. I say you look good when you're supposed to look good when your people are doing quality work. That's when you're supposed to look good. And I don't care about no fucking your damn bonus and all that shit. That's not what I didn't get hired there. When they interviewed me, they didn't ask me, or in the job, in the job description, don't say anything about your bonus in the job description. It says nothing about you at all. It says about what I want to bring to the company. You know, so but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to end it here. That's a long video. I thought it was going to be like 5 minutes, but anyway, go on out there and just know what you're getting into. That's all I gotta say. Peace.